Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the conversation. Hello, Jen. How are you today? I can't be more happy to be having a conversation with you about retreating.
I'm so excited to be here.
Let's introduce ourselves. I guess that would be polite for those who don't know us.
This is what a live conversation with Michele and Jen looks like. It's going to be fun. It's going to be silly. We're going to have laughter. We're going to make mistakes. It's awesome. This is not like a pre-programmed event. Okay, y'all?
We're just going to talk. We're going to talk like we'd be talking. We just happen to hit live, and so now you can hear us.
I even have a little coffee.
Oh, cheers. Cheers. Oh, look at your coffee cup matches my dress.
It's perfect. I did this just for you, the yellow.
Thank you. I was feeling yellow today. Well, all right. So I digress. My name is Michele Lane. Thank you for being here. I'm a self-mastery mentor. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I am all the things in transformation. And what I love about Jen is she shares some of these beautiful experiences with me on our coaching journey in our modality menus. And I'm going to let you have the floor on that, Missy.
Thank you. Hello, if we haven't met yet, and it's possible that we haven't, because we are right over here on Michele's business page. So my name is Jen Kohler. I am also a Reiki master teacher. I've been doing that for a long time, and I have a beautiful teaching program called Embody Reiki, where I actually teach people how to become Reiki teachers, and I walk with them, and I'm all about the transformational journey. For me, transformation is the bee's knees. It is really why I'm here. It's what I live for. I love to witness it in myself, and I love to witness it in my clients. It just lights me up like nobody's business.
I love that. You and I share such a passion for the connection between the mind and the body and all the somatic goodness that frees us from the places we think we're stuck.
Yes.
Times all the areas in life and in our experiences, in our journeys, and even in some of the same courses and certifications we've taken together, we've met ourselves beyond what we always thought was available. And I think that's what I love about transformation so much. It's so expansive. It's so in the moment. It's so perfect for wherever you are.
Yes.
In the journey, whether it's welcoming yourself into this new experience of what the heck just happened to me and how can I do it again? Or I've been doing this for a while and I can't wait to go through a big transformation again. Right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about retreating. Let's talk about why women's retreats. Right? We're going to be hosting one together, co-hosting.
Yes.
And what it means to us, because this is an opportunity for us to share with those listening in, our experience in that transformational journey as we walked in a place where we were brand new as well. So for both of us, those retreat experiences really opened and expanded us. So I'm going to let you talk first, and then I'll kind of chime in on my experiences as well, so we can give a full body.
Thank you. So I had been on a retreat years ago with a bunch of women from a church, and it was lovely, and I loved going, and I really was into the energy of it, and really the food and the camaraderie, and it was very rustic, very rustic. And then I really never retreated again. I had a baby, and I just was really in the motherhood entrepreneurship. And then, I always had the intention of retreating, and I've always had the intention of gathering people, and it just didn't happen. I think I was really caught up in motherhood and really caught up in not allowing myself to leave my family because I felt like they needed me so badly, like I couldn't leave, which is just actually a bunch of BS. But anyway, I digress. So this May, I actually went on retreat with Michele to Arizona with the amazing Joy Kingsborough and the beautiful Suzanne Hanna. And we really had this amazing in-person gathering where I was like, I'm going. I heard that it was happening, and I was like, I don't care how much it costs. I just want you to take my money and I'm going to meet these people in person. I need to get away from my family. And so, the story goes, I was like, I want my own room. I want my own space. And as I arrived, I got off the plane and I got in my car and I felt so adventurous and free. And I was like, oh, I just am so in love with myself right now that I am doing this. Like, it felt so good to me to get out of Dodge. Right.
Yeah.
And in this gathering, I really moved through so many layers. Again, it's the transformation that we come for. It's like when we gather and retreat, we create all this space around us to actually be able to take the time to create more transformation. So I peeled yet another layer back that I wasn't even aware was there. And that's really what I love and live for, is that next layer. What is next for you? What wants to come through for you? What are you ready to release? Where are you ready to release control? Where are you ready to create a new boundary for yourself? Where are you ready to create more luxury in your life and like fill your cup even more? It sounds a little cliche, but really when you create that spaciousness for yourself, you create something new. You heal at a cellular level, and that is just the reality of it all.
Yeah, I love that a lot. There are so many things going through my mind as you were talking. One was like the delicious moments in the morning before everyone woke up, as we would dive into conversation with those early risers, and we'd have our coffee and we'd sit on the
Mhm.
porch and have some beautiful connections, deep
Mhm.
conversations. Sometimes we pull the cards out and we just would have these moments with other humans
Mhm.
that I think so many of us are craving right now in the state of the world. We
Mhm.
were able to stay safe. We were able to
Yeah.
enjoy each other's company. We were able to explore. And because of that adventurous um,
Mhm.
essence, right? Getting on a plane, going somewhere new, meeting people you didn't know. Up until a few weeks before the retreat, I didn't even know that you were going to be there. And you and I had only seen each other in online space, and it had
Mhm.
been a good year and a half, I believe, for us.
Oh, yeah.
So to see you in person and to be like, "Oh my gosh," right? So good.
Well, and the like connection was so instantaneous.
I felt like we've been friends for decades because it wasn't different, and it was in fact more enhanced, and it was in those moments that we started talking about our dreams and
Mhm.
our desires. And so in this retreat space, this is my 5th retreat,
That's amazing.
but here's how it happened. And I was writing down a few things you said, like motherhood and rustic and
Mhm.
gathering people. Because I went on a rustic retreat myself. I actually went on a beautiful hiking retreat where we literally would set up tents and camp in the Sierras and then do a 10, 11-mile hike. So all of those things was not where I was going away from my family. I'd camped with my family, not without, right? Going
Mhm.
to meet people, 12 women I didn't know, bunking with somebody I didn't know. And it felt so like exciting and nervous and like all these
Mhm.
places of adventure where it's like, well, I don't do that, but maybe this is why I go do this because I don't normally do it. And in that discovery, the same thing. My kids were a bit older, but they all survived. And the mindset that they weren't going to be okay without me was just me holding on to the control
Yeah.
of not leaving more adventure, more love, more um, compassion for these places of my life that were calling out for me to explore. I had no idea if I could hike for 10 miles. I had no idea if I could do these things, but I really wanted to. And it was in that moment that it changed everything for me because I realized that I went on a retreat with somebody who was passionate about sharing this experience with others because it was her lifeblood. She wanted
Mhm.
us to feel safe outdoors, know we could do this, set up a tent, know we could hike, talk about nature, teach us some things. And it's very simple, but we spent an entire weekend focused on this and
Mhm.
conversation and food and camaraderie. And I realized, oh my gosh, I want to do this.
Mhm.
And it created this bug in me like, oh, what would that look like? What would Michelle's retreat look like? And I've been exploring that ever since, and they continuously shift and change. But there's always that adventurous getting through the fear of going, of paying the money, of knowing I'm worth it, of taking the time away, of arranging all the arrangements, and being in the space that you were just saying, the spaciousness created to explore something about myself. And this was about 7 years ago, the first time I went on my own. And every time that the space is created now, and I finally got the gumption and I got through the fear and I did my first one, I couldn't wait to do the next. And it's been so fascinating watching life unfold and watching like sold out retreats when COVID hit, refunding all the money. But it was always this next layer of, oh, we're going to do a retreat on meditation and yoga now. And, oh, I don't know if you know that I like meditation and yoga, but there are these expressions of me that I learned by putting it out there that it was all okay. And so my business grew and I grew and the transformation grew. And now there's such depth in the transformations that are offered and presented. And so I'm so thrilled to be doing this with you because you and I have also been on this beautiful journey of opening ourselves up to more success, money, love, passion, adventure, all the things in life. And this is where it begins.
Yeah, I love that. And like that is like the name of our retreat is Embody Your Sacred Success. Success. What does success mean, right? What does prosperity mean to you? What does wealth mean to you? And that has been a really big part of my journey over the past 6 years, is to really look at wealth and wealth consciousness and really looking at the vows that many of us as healers have taken, perhaps in a past life, perhaps in this lifetime. You have somehow pushed money away as like it's not a spiritual thing to have money. And I think that one of the things that I love most about working with you is that you feel, I think, a really similar way to me, which is that we as healers, as coaches, as mentors, as people who are here to raise the vibration of the planet, we deserve to make a good living. We deserve to make better than a good living. Like we want the healers to go forth and make the money so that we can create the world that we want to see. And I think like as a healer for 20 years, I lived in the place of poverty. I lived in a place of, it's not spiritual for me to be paid for my gifts. And this is something I feel so passionate about because I felt like I had to choose money and wealth or being a healer. And I choose being a healer. I choose both. I choose wealth and luxury and being a spiritual healer, because I believe that's why we are here. And so if you hear this message and know that that's true for you too, and you want to heal your money story, I invite you to come in and explore. I get excited. Explore what that feels like. Explore what that looks like for you. Open those chakras, open your throat chakra, speak your truth, and know that it's safe for you to have money and to be wealthy.
That safety, the safety feeling in the body. This is obviously things we can explore in online containers as well as person, but there's something special that happens when you gather together. This energetic container happens. The safety expands, and we get to let the guards down, let the layers down, and really have these open conversations and let these things clear from our belief systems, allow ourselves to rewrite those stories. And some of the things that you were talking about, like wealth consciousness, the consciousness of us, the consciousness of our beliefs, the consciousness of our choices, and how they expand or contract in our lives based off those belief systems are the most powerful things that we can do to dive into and to open ourselves up. I was writing down, these choices that we make. We can decide that we want more money. We can decide that we want to build a business. We can decide that we're going to up-level ourselves to meet ourselves at these new places, right? There's a moment where we've met ourselves in our lower limits, and now we're meeting ourselves in our upper limits. We've cleared away those. Those they don't change as humans. Like we can move through healing. There's always healing and layers to be let go of. But there's this essence of who we can become if we really allow ourselves to be successful. So it's not so much a fear of failure as it is a fear of success and who we're going to be when all this other stuff isn't existing anymore. The excuses, the time, the reasons why it's not going to work. And this is what we dive into and explore. And so I love that you opened this conversation because so many of my clients have this belief it's love or money.
Mm-hmm.
It's health or this. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's this beautiful essence of and that expands us. But we can say the words and still not believe it in our body.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we come in to help you move through that. This is where this dedicated space, this mastermind we're also creating around this event allows you to bring up those areas to be looked at, to illuminate that are probably already shining.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to be acknowledged so they can be rewritten, right? And you and I both had this experience of stepping into that. And so we want you to know it's possible. And it doesn't matter where you are in that spectrum, there is always room for that redefinition of success for yourself that allows you luxury.
I love that. Let's talk about the luxury that we're going to be inundated in at this house in Truckee, California.
I love that. So in the beautiful Sierra Mountains,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be high atop a hill, like literally at the top, in this 3-story beautiful home with room for 14 amazing women to join us. We're going to have Chef Clarissa on site. She's going to be cooking all the food and all the ways that we can nourish our bodies with all the exceptions and all the provisions, whether you're gluten-free, vegan, whatever it is, we're handling all of it. And then we get these beautiful spaces to allow ourselves time, relaxation, spa treatments. There's like an actual in-house sauna. There's hot tub. There's a cold plunge. There's patios with beautiful scenery. There's going to be movement and yoga and all kinds of amazing things in the day. And there's going to be so much space for conversation. There'll be workshops and space. There'll be adventure. And I love right now, like, thinking about the fun that we're going to have. Like, yes, we're going to be talking transformation, but we're also going to be embodying it. And let's talk about embodying for a minute, what that means. It's a fancy word. Some people may have heard it. Some people may have lived it. But let's really talk about why the embodiment in the transformation is so important than just the information.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I mean, I think that that's the work that we both do, right? We really both have really dedicated our lives, our professions to the embodiment, of whatever that looks like, right? So for me, the embodiment is really, when I think about embodiment of wealth or embodiment of prosperity, embodiment of success, it's like I feel it in every single cell of my body. When I start to really bring it into this physical container, I understand that I am source embodied, that I am the universe, that I am God, that I am all of those things. And when I embody that, it allows me, when I feel it in all of the cells of my body, when I feel my chakras aligned and I feel this physical sense of being in my body, I feel like I can do and be and have anything. I feel clear. I feel open. I feel curious about what's coming. And when I know that I have embodied the transformation that I desire, that I seek, when I embody joy and bliss in my body and remove the grief and the fear and the anxiety and the worry, it doesn't mean those things don't pop up, but the bliss comes so much more easily. And I don't know if I'm describing that very well at all. But
I love it. It's like we bridge the gap and the gap becomes shorter and shorter and shorter, and we move through it at so much more easeful paces, and we're not as afraid of when we're feeling it. And we walk through life not knowing what that feels like. And so when we reach ourselves there, oftentimes we feel like we need to turn away and run.
Yeah. Or numb.
Or numb.
Out.
Right? To get really busy again and just tell ourselves it's not worth it. But when we go through the fire of it when we actually walk through that fear, the doubt, the grief, and face it for just a moment,
Mm-hmm.
there's this beautiful, natural essence of the mind and body coming together
Mm-hmm.
when we move out of the way, and it knows what to do. And so many of us don't get to experience that on an emotional, and an energetic, on even a mental or physical level. And it's hard to put words to, but when
It
you do,
is.
you know when you're on the other side of it.
Yeah.
It's like facing your deepest fear and knowing you didn't fall down or crumble.
Yeah.
But
Like
then
you made it through.
without these big exaggerated fears, like we talk about speaking on stage, like you can do it, you can force yourself through it, you can get through it and not faint and do all the things, and then do we celebrate it, or do we beat ourselves up about what didn't go right? And in this way of approaching this, it's like honoring all those spaces as part of us and moving through to what's waiting with,
Mhm.
without the destruction, without
Mhm. Yes. The distraction, the busyness. I
right.
love that you talked about the busyness, because I think that that is something that people do to keep themselves up here, right? The chaotic chi.
I did.
We just
Yeah.
spin and spin and spin, and they're in the busyness and they are creating more and more busyness for themselves. And I really feel like the embodiment is when we come back here to the body and we just be with it.
Yeah.
We just be ourselves. We just authentically be us. And there is no do. There's just the being of being you and being in spirit and being in source, and really just actually feeling your feet on the ground and feeling your body. That to me is like everything.
Yeah. And so we have this beautiful space that's going to
Mhm.
activate whatever needs to be cleared as we're in
Mhm.
that space, as we're living that life for a weekend, as we're experiencing these essences of ourselves that we don't often have the opportunity to.
Mhm.
So let's talk about the next part of success. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about the 5-letter word, right?
Let's talk about money.
Oh, the taboo money. Like, how
Mhm.
does money play into all this as well? And let's talk about our mastermind. And let's
Mhm.
talk about what else is coming with this beautiful package of retreating.
Yeah. Well, money, I mean, when we invest in ourselves, when we invest in our growth and our being, you aren't investing in Michele or me, you're investing in yourself. So when we go on retreat, we invest in ourselves. When we invest in a new program, we're investing in our own growth. So when you spend the money, when you put $2,000 down on something, you invest in you. It's an immediate experience. It's an immediate feeling of transformation just to put the money down, right? I mean, has that been your experience, to like
Oh,
have
man.
this immediate transformation as soon as you put the money out there? It's like,
Yes,
okay, I did it.
it begins. It's like the commitment. Again, we talk about the choices and the decisions, and then this is that next action step that really secures in the commitment. So now I'm all in.
Yeah.
And being all in, again, on the other side of that, things begin to fall into place where it's like, wow, that's weird that happened. Oh my gosh, this is so ironic that this is all falling into. It's how it begins to work. It's like the universe matches us there. The thing
Totally.
that's beautiful about it is it doesn't just stop there.
No.
So then, because we've been in the experience of that, we're able to offer other experiences of that. We're able to increase our sense of worth. We're able to increase our energetic flow of money. It's
Mhm.
it's not unattainable. It is all around us always.
Yes. And
But
I
we
love that you said that, because I've always experienced, whenever I invest in myself, whenever I put the money into something, I always see it come back really very quickly. It's
yes,
pretty astonishing how the universe works that way, right? The universal laws, they really do work this way. And when you do something, you put something, you make an investment, you make a commitment, you get devoted to where you're going, to your vision, it always comes back. It always comes back to you, usually tenfold.
I was just going to say, do you realize that the retreat that we went to in May, that
Mhm.
very next week when I got back to work, by Wednesday, I had tripled what I had spent in my business in 1 week.
Yes. It's amazing.
I mean, talking about the energetic flow, and I had made a commitment, and I had come back and gotten to work in focus and clarity.
Yeah.
And watching it unfold like that is exactly what you're saying. And then you do it again, and then you do it again, and you do it again. And it was really, truly one of my most profound experiences in applying what I committed to and committing full body, mind, spirit to this next level of me in my business, in what I was saying yes to, and then watching it unfold after. And I had no expectation about that, but it did. And then as I look back, exactly what you said, every time I've invested, it's come back to me, through me, as me, because I've been through an experience that I hadn't been through before, and it allowed me to show up in a new way.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement. After that retreat, I feel like it was an activation, of what was to come. And I mean, you understand the divine, the cycle of divine timing, which is that as we move through this cycle, we move through awareness and acceptance and responsibility, we move into activation. A retreat is really a space to activate, to be activated, right? And then after that, it's just been all momentum. And let's come back full circle. Like, as we recognize this collective momentum that we are all in this big, huge, momentous experience. We can feel time moving so quickly. I certainly can. And I know that this momentum is in my business. It's really shown up for me over the course of this summer since that retreat. And I can feel the transmutation coming. I can feel the transformation coming. And that is the retreat. That is what happens during retreat, right? That's what happens with the investment, with the vision, with all of those things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we want to invite you to reach out to us to have a conversation about this for you. Your concerns, your questions, your excitement. We want to have these actual conversations with you on how to make this possible. And there are many different accommodations that you can choose from, which is so beautiful with having this particular space. And I do want to talk for a moment about the fires that are happening, just for a second, because I know it's a concern. Truckee is near Tahoe. And I do want you to know that our side of it is on the north end. We're not on the south. But no matter what happens, we will honor, if active nature happens, we will honor the refunds. We will have a way for you to receive back.
Yes.
If whatever changes apply, you'll be involved in that. There'll be a way to honor those investments. Yeah. So I don't want you to think like, oh, okay, you're investing and all of a sudden there's fire. What heck? No. But don't let that stop you from pulling the plug, is what I'm saying. Right? We're 2 months away. There is a lot of feet on the ground handling that right now. And I don't feel, I just feel very peaceful when it comes to that, very open, knowing that November 4th, when we're there, all will be settled.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that.
It's like the elephant in the room.
True.
Good. All right. So anyway, with that said, Jen, let's talk about, we're going to be showing up in all the spaces, all the different spaces, many spaces, having conversations, having workshops, really introducing you into some of this content and material to help you begin to expand even well before the retreat, well before all of this happens. And so I know we're showing up again on Friday with a beautiful workshop. We're going to start walking you through some of this conversation, some of this experiential, some of this transformation that's available even well before the retreat. And we're going to be showing up in a couple other spaces as well. So I want you to talk about your community. I have my Empowered Mastery community where you're welcome to. We'll be adding links to the bottom of this, where you can explore both of our work. You can explore both of our essences and really get involved in this beautiful community of transformation.
Yes. So on September 3rd, which you just mentioned, I think it's at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that would be 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be doing a workshop. It's going to be on my business page, but we're going to share it into many places. So that's going to be really fun. I'm really excited about that. We will plan more for the next week. And then for sure on the 21st, put this on your calendars. On the 21st, we're going to be doing a live event in the co-op, which is my community. And it's a beautiful space for transformation. I'm really excited about collaboration. Collaboration and partnership is so important to me. And so I have gathered many healers together who do very many different things. And we are in a space of true collaboration there in the co-op. So I invite you into that space. And Michele and I will be doing another workshop, another Embody Your Sacred Success workshop on the 21st. It's going to be really good, you guys. I'm really excited about this.
So much fun. So many opportunities to share, to get the word out, to help us spread the word, to help us find those who are called to be with us. You'll know when you feel it, when you sense it, when you hear it, when you're ready for it. Those are the women that we want to join us. We know what it's like to be like, oh, that's where I need to be. That's what I want to do. I'm so ready for that. And that's how all decisions have been made for all these experiences for myself. I'm sure with you as well, Jen. And just like, what is the accommodation? What is the room? Here's my money. Take it. Let me be there. I'm ready.
Yeah, like trust the nudge, trust your body, trust the feeling that you get. Like if this is for you, you're going to know it and you're going to feel it in your body and you're going to say, me, I'm ready to gather in person. Absolutely. I'm ready.
I love it. We're going to put all the links below once we're finished with this live, so you can connect with us however that feels good for you. If you're ready to go, the link will be there to purchase your registration. And we invite you to take a look. We invite you to gather your friends, gather those who you know would be a good fit for this and help us spread the word with it. And we can't wait to see you in so many more of these spaces and begin to share these workshops, these beautiful moments with you in the next weeks to come.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Nope. Feel very complete.
Me too. Good. All right. Well, with that, we bid you adieu. We'll talk to you again soon. I hope you have a beautiful Wednesday.
Bye, everybody.
Bye for now.